Your video went weird.
Weird.
Like my connection is low. Hang on a second. Like it's super weird. Oh no. Discord, no.
I'm gonna say you're roboting pretty good on my side.
Maybe it's my computer just trying to catch up to stuff. Let's see if it's better. It seems better.
Okay. Make sure I've got all unnecessary things closed.
Cool. Let me go and I think my computer's still just waking back up again from the restart. All right. We are live.
We are live. We are live.
Okay. Mm-mm-mm. All right. There it is. Yeah, that should be better. I think Nightbot's here. Let's see if it says. Yes, it is. Cool. Cool. All right, chat room. I'm going to need your energy tonight.
Yeah.
Big
Also, I'm
time.
seeing a little bit of the date underneath my name. Do I need to move my camera
Oh,
or?
that's probably me. Hold on. With the restart, it probably moved some stuff around. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me fix that.
Oh, a little better all the time.
Let's fix you there. That should be better. That should look better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Draven.
Hi, Draven. Hi, Bim. So, if you guys didn't know, if you hadn't heard, I'm pretty bummed tonight because Blizzard announced that the HGC Competitive League and Heroes of the Dorm has been canceled, which is very difficult. Very, very
Yep.
difficult. So, yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm very sad. and I'm kind of in shock. So we'll get through this. We'll do this.
Makes me wonder if they're even going to do anything at BlizzCon next year. No telling.
Yeah, it's so hard to digest right now that this past BlizzCon could be the last time I ever watch Heroes of the Storm competitive played live. Like that just
Yeah.
I can't even process that right now. It's just there's so much. I've been watching Heroes Esports since 2015, and it's been the love. I love it so much. So it's super hard for me to deal with this right now. I'm gonna try my best to get through this. So mainly it's just, it seems like, oh, this is the competitive league. And it's just sad. It's just so sad. A lot of people lost their jobs today.
Yeah, I kind of agree, Solomio.
Yeah, feeling that other things in the background affected their decision. I'm sure. I'm sure. It's just nobody, like, we did not expect this to come like this. Like, was expecting to be like a scaled back something, or, not the whole thing gone. Like, what the hell? Yeah. Oh, let me go retweet that.
And I'll retweet that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just trying to draw in my energy to do this right now. It's just really tough. Really tough. This is a big loss. So, how's everybody doing? How's chat room? How's your week been so far?
How's Thursday treating you?
Yeah, how's the the week before Christmas going.
Oh gosh, I still have to order stuff.
Yeah, no kidding. I went so last night I actually had a free evening because we didn't do E-League report on we normally do it on Wednesday nights, and we didn't do it because Brian's been sick and he lost his voice. And so I wound up going to the grocery store at like 8 p.m. just so that I would avoid any possibility of anybody on the roads anywhere near any stores or grocery stores. And it was probably like the wisest. I was so tired, and I'm like, I don't want to go outside. It's so cold, and I'm tired. But I got my grocery shopping done at like by 9 p.m. and I'm just like, all right, I'll have to do this. I'll have to deal with this. So Yep. You mean that holiday isn't over? Yeah, no, I'm with you, Solo Mio. I am with you.
Still got a little ways to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just a little longer.
Yep. All right. You will not be able to hear anything, obviously. So chat room, let's get you a ready check. Sorry about the not hearing things. We'll fix that. I don't know what broke, but something broke, and that's not good. Not good. Time to mute my notifications again.
Yep, got my phone muted.
Sweet. Cool. I guess we're ready. Are you ready to do this?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do this.
Let's make a show. All right.
Yep.
Tauren Think Tank episode 296 begins in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 296 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Thursday, December 13th, 2018. My name is Jules, and with me, as always, is the man with the tracer stocking so suitably positioned behind his head. It's Marconin.
Yes, that's right. I got a little GameStop Funko Overwatch thingy. It came with a little stocking. So for those of you that can't see it and you're just listening, it's right up by my head. I'm not wearing stockings. If I was, you would know because the camera's way too high.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, you could wear stockings if you wanted to, and you would be like, "Hi, I'm wearing stockings." You don't know, like,
yeah.
like
I could be naked from like the mid chest down, and no one would know.
Nobody.
I mean, I'm not, but
maybe you could be.
I could be. I mean, you can't prove it either way.
You don't know. You don't know.
You don't know. I apologize. I apologize in advance for that.
Well, it is a well-known, unkept secret that most podcasters do podcasts without pants. Officially, I am wearing sweatpants, so they do count as pants. Therefore, I break the rules every time, mainly because I live in a very cold climate and I hate being cold. So,
and I'm wearing pajama pants because work was rough today and I needed comfy clothes. So
hell yeah, hell yeah, amen to that. Because yeah, this has been a heck of a week, and it's just kind of the week is hecking. I'll just say it is a heckin' week, and just leave it at that for now. So what's been going on? What's new and exciting for you, my kind sir?
Oh well, outside of gaming and everything, I've been working a lot because it is crunch time. We're only a couple of weeks away from the happiest of holidays, and so it's been going a lot of stress at work. A lot of days where I am just kind of dreading going into work a little bit as I'm driving in. But once and I had a couple of rough days, but yesterday was pretty good. Today was so-so,
Mhm.
so I'll take the win yesterday and try and carry it on for another 2 days before I finally get a full weekend. It's been a couple
Yeah.
of weeks since I've had that. It's just I work long enough. There's only one day, if 2 days, maybe one day a week that I actually get to do anything other than work and sleep. And so I have packages I need to ship. I have stuff I need to order, and I'm just too darn tired when I get home to deal with it. But so yeah, that's just how it goes. If any of you out there are in retail or in the service industry this time of year, you know exactly how that feels. So I won't bore
Yes.
you with any more of that because that's just playing on a record until Super Bowl Sunday for me, pretty much.
Yeah.
So but outside of that, I had raid night on Monday night, and we finally downed a new boss. We got Zool Reborn, got him down,
Mhm.
which was hectic, and it's just so many ads. It was just bonkers, but we got it. Like, it was nearly last pull mojo, and it was just like by the skin of our teeth. We, people were dying left and right. They're like, get him, get him. We had somebody yelling out. He's like, he's at 3.7%, 2.9%. He's at 1%. 0.5, 0.2, 0.1. There was like two people alive at that point. So just by the skin of our teeth, it was like one hunter and a healer. It reminded me of my one Lich King kill before Cataclysm came out. We
Yeah.
had one tank, one healer, and a hunter alive right before the thing where we just do that last burn phase and we all get resurrected. So it
Yeah.
was, whoo, it was a little bit of a flashback of that. So that woke me up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it was it's those moments that I really enjoy rating for, is for those, by the edge of your seat of your by the edge of the seat of your pants, a razor thin margin, you get the kill. And
Exactly.
yes, and Bim in the chat room said, thank goodness I can onk, because she's one of our fantastic shaman healers.
Yeah.
And yeah, just trying to get in there and get these bosses down. It was a lot of fun. So been doing that. I've been playing a fair bit of Overwatch now that the Winter Wonderland
Mhm.
patch is hit. That Krampus Junkrat skin I must have. So if by the end of the event I don't have it, I have over 3,000 gold that I can just like buy it, and I'm
Yeah.
going to.
Yeah.
The one free box that they give you, I got the gift wrapping new Bastion skin where he looks like a wrapped present.
He
And I
looks
was like,
so
wait,
cute like that. That
he,
is a
he
great
does.
skin.
It really is, and that was one that I was going to buy as well if I did not, if I didn't get him by that point. So I really need to do that. And there's a lot of awesome new things that they had in the new Winter Wonderland patch. So just been playing a good bit of that, just doing mystery heroes like I do, and it's a lot of fun. Um, Other than that, just kind of going through, spending time with family as much as I can. It's this time of year I really start to get reflective
Mhm.
about about things. I tend to not be on social media as much. Um, just try and refocus and try to get a break from that, and also focus on my family and friends around. And I'm gonna have dinner with my one of my best friends, Laura, probably tomorrow night.
Mhm.
She'll be down, and my wife and I are gonna have dinner with her after work, and it'll be good to catch up with her. I haven't seen her in a couple of months.
Yeah.
So just kind of refocus and really kind of, you know especially with the end of Triple T in sight, very
Yeah.
very soon. I'm just trying to take stock and reevaluate like my life, and try to kind of just take a step back, because
Mhm.
try to figure out what I'm going to do next. My wife made the comment the other day that it seems like I'm just existing outside of the show, and outside of,
Mhm.
I'm just existing. And she's right. So I need to figure something out as far as that goes,
Yeah.
and refocus, and you know figure out what the rest of my life's going to be about.
Mhm.
And you have those moments from time to time in your life where you take stock of that. So
Yeah.
currently going through that on top of everything else. So little stressful, little overwhelming, but I'm having a lot of fun, um, as much as I can. And just take a day at a time as you do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with me. Yeah. What have you? Well, I know what you've been up to. You've been, as usual, very busy, but this time even busier.
Yeah.
And so I guess what have you been up to?
So this week has been I didn't expect it to be this busy, but it turned out to be I think I counted. I haven't even done the count because my brain is so tired. Um I think this is the most podcasting, recording things I have done in a single week ever. So as I counted it up this week, I have done 4 episodes of E-League Daily, which is the short Monday through Friday headlines of E-League or esports. I did 1 full episode of E-League Report. I did 3 episodes of the Jules and Coffee Hour, 3 interviews recorded for Heroes News, and now this show.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah. I don't even know how many that is. I can't count that high anymore. Yeah, it's a lot of podcasting in a single week, and I'm really tired because this is the last one. This is it. This is the one. Yeah, and it's just wow. It was a lot of podcasting, but so today I had 2 pre-record. Excuse me, 2 episodes of pre-recording the Jules and Coffee Hour because Coffee has family coming into town and work travel and things like that for the holidays. And so we were like, okay, well, we'll just we were going to try and do 3. We made it through 2. Wow. And we were both just exhausted, and there will be an opportunity window after Christmas for us to do the 3rd. So we'll just do that. I got done with that and settled down for just a few minutes to take a break. And then I read social media and found out that the Heroes of the Storm Competitive League HGC and Heroes of the Dorm have been canceled indefinitely, probably forever. And if you've listened to this show for a long time, or if you know me, I'm an HGC nut. I love it. I've been watching Heroes of the Storm competitive since 2015. It's my esport. It's the thing that got me into esports, the thing that got me passionate about esports. And it's gone. And I don't know what to do about that. I'm just trying to process that and all the things that I'm doing with Heroes Hearth. Now they don't have a team. We've been doing all this entertainment stuff, which has been amazing, and the growth has been wonderful, but they're also scaling back some of the things about Heroes of the Storm. And development is being scaled back. And so we're not sure even. We're not sure. I mean, is the community going to stick around and still want to watch the game being played on Twitch? They still want it. We don't know. We don't know anything. And nobody saw this coming. The players didn't know. Nobody was told. The orgs didn't know. Nobody knew. And so so you're seeing me in this very much in a shock state. Like we just found out about this like 2 hours ago. And yeah, it's just, and I know there's a lot of people who may just say, oh, well, whatever. It's just a game. It's just an esport. But it was something I was super excited about, super passionate about. I watched almost every game. I mean, yeah. I spent many hours and hours and hours watching that esport. So
yeah, well, and for people who don't watch esports, I mean, imagine you're a basketball fan, and they cancel the NBA.
Yeah,
like no NBA or NFL, God forbid.
Right?
No NFL, no teams. All the teams are going away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that. I mean, it's not on the scale of it, but essentially, for it, it's the same idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's huge. And I just like I was telling Jules before the show, this feels, I don't know. I mean, I try not to get on feeling really, down about it, but I'm not really liking the new direction I'm seeing Blizzard go in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a big fan of it.
I don't know what's happening, but something is definitely not right. And just not having an announcement about anything for so long is just, it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely, these poor players, that's hundreds of people that don't have a job right now.
Yeah.
And we waited and waited and waited for something to be said, and then this. And it was interesting because I was so Coffee, who I was working with earlier today, had a launcher stream set up for tomorrow morning, where his stream would be featured on the Blizzard launcher, and he got a communication that all Blizzard launcher promotions were being canceled for today and tomorrow.
Oh, I wonder why.
And so yeah, it affected other parts, other people in the Heroes Hearth partner scene, like our newest one, Kagiri, and like they were like, "Well, they took us off the launcher today," and
Yeah.
and
Well,
then
it's probably for their own benefit because they wouldn't want the hate mobs to go specifically at them, at the specific streamers, because
yeah,
people just pissed at the game would just go in mass and just start turding all over those people. So
yeah, no,
I can see why, but just the whole thing sucks.
it really does suck, and so you're getting me at a very, very sad moment. I'm gonna do my very best to do my best for the show tonight. You know, exhaustion and mental and sadness is tough, but we'll get there. We'll do this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's about it though. I've been working really hard, just trying to get all that podcasting. A lot of it was getting prepared for the holidays because, trying to find time to interview anybody who's traveling for the holidays, forget it. You're never going to get it done.
Yeah.
So, so that's why I've been front loading a lot of interviews, and getting stuff recorded early. And so I'm hopeful that maybe I can take a couple of days off over the holidays and just chill. That would be great. So yeah,
I think you should.
that'd be nice. That would be very nice. So anyway, that's the updates for us. I think we do have a listener letter that came in. And so we will be handling that tonight. Are you ready to jump in and do the thing?
Absolutely.
All
These
right.
people have answered the call that we have given out, like, hey, it's use it or lose it time. We need your letters because there's only a couple left.
Yeah.
And they have answered our call. They have heeded our call. And yes, I am ready. Let's do it. Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
It's Think Tank time, and it is time for a letter. And it goes like this. Hello, Triple T. I'm sitting right now in my dorm room in a city about 1 hour away from where I previously lived. Meeting my friends is very hard, and since we did not meet much outside of school previously, it's essentially zero now. While I still have Facebook group chat to talk, I'm more or less back to square one. The last weeks have been horrible, and I felt trapped inside my dorm room with nothing to do besides waiting for time to pass. I do my best to go on walks and do other things to cheer me up, but no matter what I do, the feelings of loneliness, nostalgia, and frustration come back almost daily. Since attending university, I've made no friends, as none of the people in my seminars really interest me too much. As soon as my finances stabilize, since I've had a lot of expenses moving and buying my own things, I want to make sure to join clubs, join political activities, etc. But, and I suppose this is my question, I just can't shake the feeling that things will never ever in my life be again once they once were. I dearly miss the days of simply being able to step outside of the house and spend the entire day out and about with my close friends. I don't question that I may find some friends again in the future, but I miss having a real group of friends that I can always interact with, a proper and tight social base. Is this just part of becoming an adult? Do most people go through this? I apologize if this question is open-ended or too long, but this has been bothering me immensely lately, so I figured it was worth sending this mail. Thanks, and warm greetings from Felix.
Thanks for writing in, Felix. I have definitely been there myself. The short answer to your question is yes, it's part of being an adult. And yes, most of us have gone through it.
Yeah.
Having these big life changes, different chapters in your life, you will lose friends, just by distance and by time. It happens. You have people in your life for a certain amount of time, and then they rotate out and more people rotate in. This is not going to be something that's going to affect you forever. You will definitely have friendships. You will have close friends. I mean, once you get out of university, you will have work friends. It just happens. And it is a part of life, and it sucks. That's kind of the short answer, but but during this part, you're kind of feel just really shut into your dorm room. And I'm glad you're doing the walks and everything, because that was like the first thing that I would suggest is get out. Just get out of the dorm room,
Yeah.
go go down to a coffee shop or something, talk to the barista while you're drinking coffee, go do something. Human interaction. That's what you are craving, not just friendship, I think. I mean, you are craving friendship, but the human interaction is a good way to kind of stem that flow of loneliness, is just talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know your situation about any anxiety with talking to new people or whatever, but that's something that you could possibly do to kind of help while you're in this stage in between freshly moving and getting financially stable and then wanting to branch out later on. It doesn't help you now, but things like going out and just interacting with other people, I think, would be something that might help a little bit. I know it's not a
Mm-hmm.
close friendship. It's not the same, but I think it might help tide you over a little bit. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think, Jules?
So, just to clarify, too, this letter was quite long, and I did cut it down quite a bit. There was a lot of backstory, and mainly the backstory was that he's lived in different parts of Europe, and every single time he's moved a lot, and so that he's lost friends. He's had a couple close friends, and then lost them, and so it's kind of this cycle. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, the number one thing I thought about when I read your letter, Felix, was I think that there's a key point that might be missing for what you are looking to do. And that is, if you want to have a friend, you have to be a friend. And there's it there's we are when we have social anxiety, that's a big thing that can be a challenge, is to make connections with people, and to really kind of like have those moments where you're just truly like feeling good about that kind of person. But I'm getting a feeling like you kind of wait for people to come to you, and that you kind of wait for people to initiate conversations, and feel like you're connecting with them because they do it first. And that's something that I've always struggled with in a lot of ways too, is like to how to be a friend, right? Like, how do you connect with someone and be a good friend to them? And the number one thing the number one thing I can tell you is that people love talking about themselves. And I've said this before on the show before, like showing interest in somebody else and what they're doing, and how what's going on in their head, what's going on in their lives, what they're interested in, what they like. I don't know very many people who are just like totally adverse to talking about themselves when someone shows genuine interest.
Yeah.
And that is tough to do when you are maybe afraid, or tentative, or a little bit like shy or whatever. But there's always opportunities to make those friends. And he mentioned in his letter that I didn't mention, he's been a gamer in the past. Like, listening to this show, I'm hopeful that you are still a gamer, and that is a key opportunity for you to be able to connect with other people, like in different ways. Like, I can't tell you how many Facebook groups that I've been in for gaming, like, the BlizzCon 20 whatever year it is Facebook group, and Heroes of the Storm groups, and other things like Blizz Nerds. And there's just people that'll just be like, hey, does anyone feel like playing Overwatch? Here's my battle tag. Like, they
Yeah.
literally just put that out there and say, hey, I'm looking for people to play with. Maybe you want to do something like that. Like, play games with people. For
Yeah.
real. Like,
Yeah.
I just want you to know that it is not, you don't have to be alone if you don't want to be.
Mm-hmm. And that does take a lot of courage,
Yeah.
to like you said, Jules, approach people, start talk, ask them questions to get to know them, because I mean that's honestly a good way to kind of get over your fear of meeting new people, is to let them do all the talking.
Yeah.
That's kind of a little cheat sheet answer right there, is to
Yeah.
just say, think of 10 questions to ask somebody, like, well, how, like in the barista example from earlier, like, oh, how long have you worked here? It's like, oh, that's cool. Do you go to school? If they're of college age or university age, like, oh, did you go to university over here? Oh, that's cool. What was your major? Oh yeah, I know somebody that had that major. They said it was pretty tough. Just something to kind of break the ice with, and
Right.
just get to know somebody. And when it comes to gaming, I mean, heck, I mean, it just presents itself like, I like Overwatch. This person likes Overwatch. Let's play some Overwatch.
Yeah.
And then if it goes well, keep them on the battle tag. You know, I mean, that's how it happens. And it does give you that way into making new friendships, ones that, may not be, they won't be the ones you had. I mean, it's long gone are the days that we would grow up and walk outside and have a neighborhood full of friends that we could just go out and play with. We are older than that now, and we have moved apart. You scatter when you grow up. Some people don't leave their hometowns. I
Hmm.
have plenty of friends that are still live in my hometown. I see them every once in a while,
Hmm.
and they're still friends. We were not as close as we used to be, in that we can't just go outside and hang out.
Yeah.
We have that big L word called life that gets in the way.
Yeah, and that is a key. That's a really good point that you made right there. Because the thing about when you're younger and you make friends, it's kind of like you make friends with the people who are in your proximity.
Hmm.
It's just because you what are your choices? It's school,
Yeah.
it's your religious places like your churches and synagogues and things like that. Like the people that live in your neighborhood, the people that live next door or down the street or that kind of thing. It's proximity based. And if you're
Hmm.
lucky, you've got a lot of things in common, and then life happens and everybody shifts priorities. You get older, you most likely go elsewhere to college or university, or maybe you just stay where you are and a bunch of other people leave, just like you said.
Hmm.
And so, and I've been around for 4 decades now, so I can tell you that your friend circles are going to change over time because your interests and the things that you're most passionate about or having fun with, it's going to change. And like we've talked about this on the show before, like you'll have work friends, you'll make work friends because you spend 40 hours plus a week together. You just like naturally start to make bonds with people.
Yeah,
And
just kind of
then
like.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Sorry.
No,
Oh.
it's just like you make these bonds with people, but when that bond is no longer the thing that connects you, it's pretty likely that most of the time those friendships fade away. Or
Hmm.
you become Facebook friends, but that's about it. Like you see what's going on in their lives on Facebook, and that's the extent of it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, you've talked about
It
this before
happens.
with you've had a coworker that you wound up like sharing rooms with when you were traveling for the nights that you were doing,
Hmm.
and then you were not you're not working together anymore, and now
Yeah.
it's not the same.
Yeah. Funny story. He actually transferred back from Seattle for a month. I saw him on Monday. He was walking into the store when I was leaving, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And he was like, "Dude, come here." Shook his hand, gave him a hug. Caught up for a minute, and they let him transfer back here for a month. So I was like, "Ah, we need to go hang out and catch up, grab a beer or something." So
Yeah.
we'll do that. And that's what happens with work friends a lot of times, is that when not working around each other, especially if you move away, it's that same idea. You don't have that common thread. Just like when you're kids, you don't live in the same neighborhood anymore. So once that common thread is broken, it's tough to maintain friendships. And that's true when you're little or when you're older. So
Yeah.
that's something that you will experience for the entirety of your life, because we all do.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean it's you can miss having friends from earlier parts of your life, but that gives it's kind of gives you an opportunity to make new friends, to find new people to be around, and it's when you're younger, it's proximity, and when you're older, it can become more interest based, especially with the way that social media and the internet works and all this stuff. You find groups, you find meetups of people that have the same interests, and you all kind of clump together in those interest groups, and that way you've got more things bonding you together. It's not a job, it's not where you live, it's your interest. And interests, they do change in your life, but it seems to me that interests are slower to change in some ways,
Yeah.
because like Back to the Future, I'm always going to love that movie. Like, if somebody walks by randomly on the street and quotes it or wears a shirt, like, I'm talking to that guy or gal, like, we're going to have a discussion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just something short, be like your shirt, like, oh, that's awesome. Or they say a line, I'll reply with the next line in the movie, something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
your interests are going to, I think, at least in my experience, will bind you a little bit closer together than you will in some others, unless you're, like, again, proximity based. If you live around each other, that's another thing. But as far as interest based friendships, those tend to last a bit longer because your interests don't really change as quickly sometimes than just moving jobs. Like if you all of a sudden quit for a better job, then it's gone. Like that common tie is gone.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That I had an interesting. So I interviewed TBK from the Lords of the Storm podcast
mm-hmm.
for a future episode of Heroes News, and he told me about how the show got started, which is that he and Gizmo and Multi, the three of them, are actually a part of a group of real life friends who have been friends for like 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they all live in the same area. They've all known each other since like college days or earlier even. And what's really cool is that like they've remained friends and continue to work together even through marriages and kids and people moving and all that kind of thing. And I mean, there's nothing tougher, I think, than trying to maintain friendships across like when you're all single and then all of a sudden people start getting married and then they have children and all their priorities are changing and their time gets more limited. And so I asked him on the show, on the interview, I said, how do you guys maintain, have you maintained that friendship over for so long? And he just said, it's communication. It's about, staying in contact and taking the time and when your time gets more limited, sometimes you have to make more priorities for other things, but then you try to make sure that there's at least some ability to get together, or this is a part of this. And I really enjoyed that because it was like when your priorities are maybe like, hey, let's go hang out and play video games for the entire day when you didn't have anything else. And that was the way you bonded. And now it's like, well, I have to make sure I have time for my wife and my job and my children and all those wonderful things that are very important. But it's just like maybe the person that isn't married or isn't having children is like, well, I didn't change. Why'd you go changing? It's just, it's the life. It's the way life goes. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing about maintaining or building new friendships is to find the things that keep you in common ground and then letting go when they are no longer there. Which has happened to me, excuse me, it's happened to me numerous times, dozens and dozens of times over the years where these maybe strong connections have been lost over time. And if it's not a major fallout or a blow up, it's just about, hey, we've just gone our separate ways. But it leaves you open for new people to come in and fill that space and to do things with. And I think one of the things that's been very, very tough and wonderful at the same time this year is the transitions that I've made from more of a WoW-based community to a Heroes of the Storm-based community. And it's not been without its pain points and sadness, because when I stopped playing WoW after everything happened with my job and Signals Media and working with Pat Crane, it was like I just don't feel like I belong here anymore because I'm not playing the game. The game doesn't hold the same happiness that it used to. And though the people are the still same wonderful people that they've always been and they always will be, and they hugged me and gave me love and tons and tons of just hugs and things like that at BlizzCon, I moved on because I went to the place where I was passionate about and where these other people had the same passions that I did. And it's bittersweet. It's just, you have to just look at it and say, this is life. This is how life can go. And it's not that I don't love every single one of those people that I've worked with in Convert to Raid or had in, contact with when I was leading the guild. It's just that things changed. And so, it was it's been sad and hard, and accepting that life does change, and sometimes your interests change, and the things that you used to
Hmm.
love you don't love anymore, and that
Yeah.
means that you have to go and find a new family. And
Yep.
so, and I have, and I'm happy. I love my Heroes of the Storm community so much, and Heroes Hearth community so much, but it's bittersweet. It's a letting go of what used to be. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, for Felix, it's like you will find you'll find a new home. You just have to go look for, you have to look for it, number one, and you have to put yourself out there to do it, number two, and you have to know that it's gonna that it's there. It's a possibility that you can
Hmm.
do that.
And well, and I know in Felix's letter, talked about, you know, wanting to find a tight social group, like a social base to kind of latch onto. And I think that Felix is on the right track with getting into, clubs and things like that. Because I tell you, when I went to college here in the US, I was almost an hour away from home,
Mm-hmm.
like where I grew up. It wasn't very far. It's far enough, but I was in the band, and so I instantly had 100 plus people that I had something in common with, and
Mm-hmm.
that we could hang out, we could do stuff after rehearsal, we could all go get, food or something. And then I joined one of the music fraternities. And then I had a bunch of brothers and sisters that I could, we could go to events with, we could do stuff, we could plan events and, do really cool things with. And that was, other than my gaming community, that was probably one of the tightest social groups that I ever had, was during college for that. Is
Mm-hmm.
because I latched on, I jumped in with both feet, and really had a giant passion for it. And the other people that had a passion for it, we all joined up, and we're friends, and they're still my friends. I mean, that's why I talk to them on a semi regular basis, with life being what life is. But you always have that, I always have that connection to them and that friendliness. And I've spoken before on the show about how years can pass between when I see somebody. In fact, one of my friends that played trombone with me in college, I didn't know, but he's a local police officer down here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to a client's house, and I drove right past him, and he was doing like a Santa meet and greet, because he's a cop.
Oh
And
wow.
he was like in a cop slash elf outfit, waving at people passing by, because they had a little station where you could, meet Santa. And it was like a big kind of like fun community thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that looks like him, but I don't know. And then within a minute, Facebook Messenger went off, and he's like, "Hey, dude, just saw you. I was the last elf waving at you." I was like, "I thought that was you." And we got to talk for a while, and got to catch up, and stuff like that will happen. So it's, you still have those connections. So sometimes, especially with social media, it'll spark off, connections and getting to talk with your friends and things like that. And that
Mm-hmm.
that is one of the blessings of social media. For a lot of its faults, that is definitely a blessing of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really think that you're in a rut right now. You're kind of in this kind of dead zone, a friend dead zone right now, between establishing yourself at university and getting your feet under you as far as socially.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting the financial situated, you're getting the academic, you're just starting to work on the social. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's just a process. And so I really think that, if you dig into some of the clubs around there, really go in with your interests, you will find more people to have things in common with. And if university is anything in Europe as it is in the U.S., you will find some other people that you have stuff in common with, and you'll make more friends. I mean,
Yeah.
as much as losing friends is a part of life, finding new friends is as well.
100%. And if you can find the uh just the energy to put yourself out there in a certain way, I just, and it sounds like he's from Europe or some other country other than the United States. So what I would say is there a gaming store nearby that you could go to, just because a lot of times gaming stores have groups that they just, hey, it's D&D night, or it's Magic night, or it's Cards Against Humanity
Yeah.
night, or whatever, and just to start that way, or just think about it from that perspective. I don't know. It's just there's there's got to be certain things, but if money is an issue and you're not able to afford too much at this point, what I would say is look at ways that you could connect online with other people. Look at ways that you can have those moments where you can team up with other people. If you play Blizzard games, if you don't, if there's other interest groups that you're interested in, and you can start to connect people that way. It just start somewhere. You just got to start somewhere and practice it. That's the most important thing, is to practice it and go for it. And just, you know, you have the choice. You can just kind of wallow and be sad. And that's an option, and it's 100% an option. But I think that you don't want that anymore. So what's the turning point? What's the thing that's going to push you out of that and just make you want to initiate a conversation with somebody or want to do something with someone else? And that's
Hopefully
the thing that's going to...
listening to this show.
Hopefully it is. Hopefully it is. So I'm actually getting a migraine as we speak right now. So,
oh, no.
So I apologize that my words may not have always come together, because I am literally just I'm slowly starting to lose the ability to function. So we may have to wrap this up pretty quick, because my words are coming a little slower. So
that's okay.
Yeah, and I really need my medication. So.
Oh yeah, I think we've pretty well encapsulated our thoughts and ideas for Felix. So, you know, Felix, definitely, you know, don't take this dead zone or dead time of being kind of friendless as the rest of your life, because it definitely won't be. Get out there, talk to baristas, talk to people, people in parks and stuff to kind of tide you over. And it's something you have to practice. I was a very big introvert and very socially awkward when I was younger, but it does take practice. And now I talk to strangers all day for a living, and so it's something that you just really have to work at and practice. So I think you'll get that. I think you'll definitely get into the flow of it as you hone your craft, so to speak. And definitely check out the clubs that you have at university, and look for gaming stuff. If you're still a gamer, I went to GameStop couple weeks ago and just looking at Funko Pops, and both of the guys that worked at GameStop were like, dude, you like Funko Pops too? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And so 30 minutes later, we're still talking about our collections, stuff that you have in common with. And it, I'll probably go by and say hi to them again at some point. I don't know their names, but I know where they work, and I know they collect Funkos. So that's two things, something, if you need a connection, go somewhere where there's people and just talk to people. And I know that once you dig in socially to university, things will start getting better. We definitely like to hear about it if you do. Not much longer for the updates, but I'm sure if you let us know, you can always tweet us. We're not going anywhere on that front. But I hope the best for you, and don't get too caught up in yourself and in your dorm room feeling lonely, because that was me about over 10 years ago. That was me. Probably 15 years ago now. Jeez.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
don't get lost in your own head. Get out there, get some air, go for more walks, talk to baristas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you so much for writing to the show. We hope that we've helped give you some insights as well about the lovely things that you could do to connect with other people, but just do it. You've written about it. It's something on your mind. You can do this. You can get it out there, and you can do this. And if you have thoughts and feedback about the comments that we've made on the show, you can do that at questions@taurenthinktank.com. That's our email address. You can go to our Discord server, which is tinyurl.com/tttchat2, or you can find us on Twitter at taurenthinktank. I think that's gonna do it all. It's gonna do it all. All right, so let's wrap this up so that I can go get some medication in my system. Oh, geez. So let's do this. Let me get my notes up so I have them to read. That helps. Notes help, especially right now. All right, let's do this. Yeah. Tauren Think Tank is supported by you, our fans. Thank you to each and every one of you who supports us every month on Patreon. We are going to have it open just a little bit longer, so if you want to help out Triple T, you can do so at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank.
Also, portions of the music and sound effects heard on the show can be found at incompetech.com and at freesound.org. And you can also find us on that there internet outside of the show. You can find us at our official website, taurenthinktank.com, and there you can find all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us too.
If you want to meet other members of the Triple T community, you can join our Discord server, and the quick way to get there is tinyurl.com/tttchat2.
And also over there in Facebook, you can find us at facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank. You guessed it. I knew you could get it. You can also find us on Twitter. That's probably the best way to get in contact with us, too. You can find the show at Tauren Think Tank. You can find Jules at Jules RPG. You can find me, Mark Conan, at Mark Conan Wow. And don't forget, taurenThinkTank.com/store. It may be too late to ship stuff by Christmas. Maybe not if you do these like fast shipping. I have no idea. Go ahead and do that. Triple T or taurenThinkTank.com/store.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight and hanging out every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Central. You can find the video stream at twitch.tv/TaurenThinkTank, and we love seeing you here with us. Thank you for the downloads that you give us as well. Mark Conan.
Jules.
I will see you next week.
Yes, ma'am. Get some medicine, get some good night's rest, and rest well this weekend. Get some rest. I know you've been working really, really hard.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, chat room. We will be back next week. For myself, for Mark Conan, and the entire chat room. Until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo. Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
All right, Draven, I'm going to need you to just send us the show titles like afterwards or something. I got to end the stream like right now because the light is killing me. So I'm so sorry, you guys. It happened about halfway through and I was like, oh no, oh no. So thank you for being with us and sticking it out. And we will be back next week.
I'll copy the ones that Draven put into the show notes. You can read them later.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
You're welcome. /moo, guys. Have a great week.